Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever House of Decline clip show, a best-of episode that I assembled today. We are both going on vacation, I myself to Cape Cod to find the most expensive lobster roll, and Alex is going to the North Pole to find his father. Please enjoy the following clips, which are separated by a snippet of our theme song, as is the custom, and as always, visit patreon.com/House of Decline for more podcasts and comics.
It's vamping, I don't have any banter to go on, so I'm just singing my song all day long, singing like a master chef. You know what movie is fucking insane if you just think about it a little? Remember the movie Invincible with Mark Wahlberg, which is all about the veneration of a fucking scab?
Doesn't he take some kind of pill for that?
Invincible?
What is Invincible?
No, you're thinking of Limitless.
Oh.
That's the one where Bradley Cooper takes super Adderall and becomes an ultra author and stock investor. And Robert De Niro really phones it in that movie. I'm talking about Invincible, the one which is the movie about Mark Wahlberg, and he plays a barkeeper who the NFL players are on strike, so they start holding drafts for regular-ass Joes, and he makes it.
Okay.
So it's all about a movie about how scabs are good.
Yeah, I see. I want to watch this. It's set in 1976.
Yeah. And
And-
it's a Disney movie?
And it's Mark Wahlberg and pretending to be in 1976. That sounds hilarious.
Oh, it's 1976 Mark Wahlberg. I'm wearing bell bottoms just like Boogie Nights. I have no idea what's going on.
Greg Kinnear's in it. Sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
Actually,
Invincible.
What I've been watching is 90 Day Fiancé.
That's a classic of trash.
Have you seen?
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, watch it.
No, what is the premise?
Highly recommended.
It's just a bunch of, like, horribly awkward incels and a bunch of Russian and Malaysian ladies and stuff like that?
Yeah, but they're not horribly awkward incels. There's like one per season, but it runs the gamut. It's, the K-1 visa is what you get when you are marrying to come to America. You have 90 days to get married, and it's 50% fake, I think, or scripted by TLC.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that scripted vibe, but it's just wacky enough to be addictive and crazy, and I recommend it. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
Please
we don't
sponsor
get
us,
Hulu
Hulu.
in Canada.
What? Oh, you don't get
Create
Hulu?
a Canadian Hulu.
It's probably on Canadian Hulu. I mean,
We don't have Canadian Hulu.
what?
We don't got Hulu up here.
What? Dude, the internet is...
crap.
What? Just get a VPN.
I guess I could get a VPN.
Yeah, get a VPN.
I'll get a VPN.
The countries are...
ExpressVPN, sponsor it. Yeah.
I miss it. I miss fainting.
When did you frequently faint?
Yes, when I would wear floral dresses growing up in the South, I would often be
All
taken
of your
to
fainting couches,
fainting on
yeah.
the divan.
Oh my. I've heard the most ribalderous claim. Well, that's not the same. Oh my. I've heard the most ribalderous claim from Lord Clancy of Southern Bottom. He says that the pecans are due in July this year around. I cannot abide by late pecans. I shove them in my pussy for goodness. Sorry,
That
I needed
begins
to
the
bring it there.
candying process.
Lady Fairfax Weatherby. Come at me, bitches. I'm Lady Fairfax Weatherby. My bustier will be your bonnet, and I will carry you like the bee in her egg sac to the friendly flavor of Georgia. I don't know. I'm
Very
really
good.
inhabiting this person. I really want to be Lady. What did I call her?
Lady Fairfax Southern Bottom?
Lady Fairfax Weatherby.
Weatherby?
No, Lord Southern Bottom.
Lord
She
Southern
was-
Bottom.
Lord Southern Bottom informed Lady Fairfax Weatherby that the pecans would be due in July,
The pecans are going to be due in July.
and the candying process will be very late
will
as a
be
result
delayed.
of it.
The candying
And
process
that's
will be
much to the chagrin of Lady Fairfax Weatherby, dowager of the Goobern plantation in Ogerthell, Kansas.
Ogerfell, Kansas. And of course,
Ogerfell,
Lord
Kansas.
Southern Bottom is coming from the swampy mucks of Louisiana.
That would actually be like a southern fantasy novel where it's like I guess that's what True Blood kind of was, but it's more like Lord of the Rings but set in the Deep South.
Yeah, True Blood is Tolkien in the Deep South.
Yeah, True Blood is absolutely Tolkien in the Deep South. That's why there's so many hobbits. But I like the idea of a bunch of dandy Louisiana hobbits. Now, come here and we've prepared a very nice gumbo for you. I guarantee these Cajun hobbits. We are short people and have hairy feet and play the accordion. No, I guess the Zydeco dwarves. I have no idea if we were having Southern Lord of the Rings. So the QAnon belief that Hollywood is like a pedophile ring, it's not that far off from reality. You know, it's not.
Doing Marge?
A lot of these things they say aren't stretches. Homer. Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
I'm fucking blowing Joe Biden every day. I gotta keep him taut. We only get 3 more adrenochrome shots until he turns into a zombie from Dawn of the Dead. This is my canonical Kamala Harris impression. She doesn't sound anything like this.
No.
But people have said she sounds like Marge Simpson.
She doesn't. Not at all.
No, not at all. Absolutely not at all. But this will be my Kamala Harris impression.
I wish I could do.
Oh, God, I'm working a lot. Oh, boy. This whole weekend at being Joe Biden's puppeteer was a bad life decision. This will impact my career negatively.
For the debates, Biden pulled out a pack of cigarettes and just started smoking, and it's just like, said a swear word, like "fuck it, man."
Fuck it, come on, man. I'm 82. I don't give a shit. Yeah, he goes full Bulworth. Starts doing rap lyrics.
Oh man, doing like East Coast rap from the '90s. Yeah.
Now this is a song by the Wu-Tang Clan called "The Mystery of Chess Boxing." Raw, I'ma give it to you. No trivia. Come on. Like cocaine straight from Bolivia, okay? And I realize that all of these environmental people, all these Antifa people, they're not respected because they have very tiny necks. And I think that people respond to authority. You'll even see, like, leftists, get intimidated by cops. You know why?
Thick necks.
Larger than average necks.
Thick-necked cop.
You got it? It's the neck strategy of authority. You'll never be taken seriously with a thin neck. Gotta build up your neck.
So everyone...
I can sell neck injections. I'm selling neck injections.
Raise the shoulders up, and so you can't tell the width of the neck. You raise your shoulders up like this.
Yes,
can't
exactly.
See it. The listener can't see it, but I'm raising
when
my
talking
shoulders
to people.
up. Yeah, raise your shoulders.
Raise them. Raise your shoulders. Improve your body language. Yes. They'll never guess the size of your neck. You could have any neck.
Yes, my neck is very thick, sir.
My neck is gigantic.
You cannot see. I have to wear very wide bow ties.
Extremely wide bow ties. I have to go to a custom bow tie maker.
Your neck is so thin that you probably wear one of those little noodle bow ties as a bow tie.
Bro, my neck is so big, I gotta have a whole trawling line. I gotta have, like, a gigantic Japanese fishing boat's worth of rope in order to get around this big caboose of a neck.
Japan.
This big fucking round, cylindrical, veiny turd.
The land of the rising sun, they say. The land of the rising sun. They say that. They do. They do say that. They love me there in Japan.
Because of your big necks?
Yeah, because of my big, thick neck.
Your gigantic neck. They call you Neku-san. You go to Japan, and they're like, thank you, necks. There you go, full circle. Arigato. Next.
Sir. Within me is 2 men fighting. Is protesting good or is protesting bad?
You should really get that checked out. It's not normal to have 2 men inside you. I think you might have parasitic triplets.
No, there are 2 men, maybe 3 men inside me. There are 3 men inside me.
There are 3 men inside me.
One in my mouth, one in my... Oh, no, never mind. Hold on.
One in my belly button, one in my navel, so that we can do a helicopter type thing.
Oh, helicopter. Hell yeah.
Or it's more like a stone mill.
Imagine if you had a butthole that could spin around really fast.
The dream.
Yeah.
The dream. Well, that's why it was originally called Grindr, because they were selling butthole mods that turned your asshole into a garbage disposal. But they since just pivoted to a gay anonymous sex dating.
Let's make a sequel.
It's not always anonymous.
Let's make a sequel to Teeth, but with gay men, and there's teeth in your butthole.
That's even worse, because at least the vagina dentata, at least the vagina looks like a mouth to some degree. Like an asshole with teeth will look like a fucking lamprey or a fucking leech. I don't like it.
Anus dentatus?
Oh. Anus dentata.
Oh no! No, it would have to be dentatus.
Right,
okay.
because of the Latin.
Do you know Latin? Jesus.
I'm not conjugating. I don't know conjugation.
It's not conjugating. That's for verbs. Declining
Oh my
it.
God.
Oh my freaking God.
Anus dentatus. I'll shred your dick in my tooth ass.
We need to reinstitute ancient Latin and Greek at age of 10 in all schools. This is why
right.
society is crumbling, because nobody learns anything about grammar anymore. People just making up words left and right. Making up words.
You know how you know you're a fucking prep school fancy boy?
How?
When the joke you laugh at most in Life of Brian is the Roman guard correcting Brian.
Correcting the graffiti, yes.
Which I think is actually... I laugh at that joke so fucking much. I think it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Because it draws upon all their...
Romani.
Did I ever tell you my favorite joke that I ever wrote?
Oh, yeah, no.
Did you hear about the McDonald's at Auschwitz?
No.
Its motto was Arbeit macht Fries. I think that's funny.
I made my dad laugh last weekend because he was putting glue traps all around his house because he's got mice.
Right.
He's got mice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Damn, Dad, you got Mauschwitz down there."
And Mauschwitz set him off?
Yeah, he started laughing really hard.
That's good. It's nice to make your dad laugh because it's hard to relate to people from an older generation sometimes.
Well, yeah.
And so when you find common ground, it's precious.
You know what's hard? Running with an erection is hard.
Here's the sound of running with an erection. Getting all slappy.
Yeah, it slaps all around. It sometimes goes like the wrong way, and you're like, "Ow!"
Whoa! Gets caught you.
So you might ask me, how do I know this?
You've been running with erections recently?
That's what I do at nighttime. I go out 3 a.m., 4 a.m. naked, and hold up a porn magazine in front of my face. Just run as fast as I can down the road. My posture's completely perfect the entire time.
Oh my God. Problem is at 4:30 a.m. when you end it with a Seth Rogasm.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I could do a no-touch orgasm. That would be cool.
I wonder if I've ever done that. I don't think so.
You don't think you've ever? Have I ever done a no-touch orgasm? I've never even had a wet dream. My semen control is the utmost. If you were like, if our dicks had like trading cards, like, and one of the stats was semen control, I would have like 10 out of 10 semen control.
You got a nutsack that won't let go.
Yeah.
Hold on to them.
Holding on. I'm holding on to my boys, Can't let them leave the nest. I like the idea of having a protective vas deferens.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look. There's a vas deferens between the penis and the testicles.
Yeah.
Look.
That's an old one.
I know.
You did that one years ago.
I know. I think it's fun.
I think I remember the time when you came up with that. I think you ran to tell me.
I'm sure someone else has come. There's no way that someone else has not come up with that.
You were very excited about that, and you made you covered a vast distance of ground to come tell me that one. I think I remember. Get home now! I have something to tell you. I cannot wait.
It's good. Did you know there's a vas deferens between the penis and the testicles? I think that is one. That is one of my good ones. I think my other favorite one that I've ever come up with is if meat is murder, then is cake battery.
Cake?
Cake.
Battery?
It's battery. Yeah. Because if meat is murder,
Yeah.
then is cake battery?
Why would cake be battery?
Because meat is murder.
Yeah, I know, but what does
battery
cake have to do with meat?
It's because murder is a type of crime and battery is a type of crime.
That's not what I asked. I asked how are cake and meat, because it has to be...
Because they're two types of food, damn it!
Yeah, but you don't eat them together.
You can! If you want a taste sensation. You've never had meat cake before?
I get there's probably some kind of
You've
cake
never
with
had-
bacon on it.
You never had chocolate steak before?
There's chocolate-covered steak. Sounds interesting.
Fudge steak. What we have tonight? Fudge steak. What's on the menu tonight, Chef Joan? Fudge steak. Yeah. Forced feminization. I've been saying this for years.
Yeah.
I wish the 5G conspiracy were real. It would just make everything so much better if we were all big titty
The
bitches.
phone tower's making me grow titties.
Phone towers making me grow big titties. I'm milking all the time. It's 5G milk. You drink the 5G milk, you become a Wi-Fi tower, which then makes more titty people.
Titty people.
Yeah.
We have, on this planet, we have men and titty people. It's like
The titty people wanted equality.
this is a Star Trek episode from the
But don't you understand? The titty people don't want to be called that. No, they're quite comfortable with being the titty people. The ethics of calling them the titty people. Man, yeah. City on the edge of the titty people.
What do you think Bill Cosby thinks of all this?
The thing about Harvey Weinstein is I believe it terribly because he is Jewish. And we all know those men are swarthy and horny.
Yeah, man, Cosby's gonna come out of prison based as fuck. Just gonna be with red pill takes left and right. Man, he's gonna be the most racist person. He's gonna be like, they used to do racist jokes. Now I'm gonna. Man,
What do you mean racist? Like he's gonna
he's gonna
you
just
gotta
come up and be
join, like-
Hotep, full on Hotep. He's
Oh,
gonna
he's
get
gonna
radicalized.
I don't think
He's gonna get
Hotep
radicalized.
Cosby will not take. I would love Hotep Cosby.
The white man was born in the land of Boo Boo Gajoob. In the corners of Cyprus, where Yakub and his assistant Flabby Barbadoop, where they arranged to construct the white man out of leaves and jello pudding pops.
And Hotep Cosby is a very funny idea.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen.
I would love Hotep Cosby. I guess I already alluded to it. It's his anti-Semitism.
Well, hopefully, Cosby.
Theo, never marry a Jewish girl. You can fuck white women, but never marry.
Pants up, don't loot. Oh, I can see Alex in the background. He's not peeing, he's taking a bong hit. He's got that big lighter, like the big lighter, the handheld grill lighter for his bong. Oh, there he is. Act like I didn't say anything.
I'm back. It's me, Fred Flintstein, the Yabba Dabba Jew. Wilma! Did Fred Flintstone ever beat Wilma?
No, John Goodman did, though.
Whoa!
Yeah. John Goodman.
Wilma, I swear to God! You make me do this, Wilma!
Oh my God. It's just
The really
gaslighting.
dark domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Pebbles cowering in the corner.
Oh my God. Another movie I was not allowed to see.
The Flintstones
Yeah,
movie?
not allowed to see that.
That movie is surprisingly racy. What with Halle Berry, slinging her pussy at John Goodman and
Yeah.
all.
Well, I mean, I was allowed to watch Cary Grant and Fred Astaire. That's why I'm so warped.
That's why you're gay.
all of these attractive closeted gay men
My God.
forming my youth
Cary
masculinity.
Grant. Yeah, bringing up Baby, where they adopt a cheetah.
Cary Grant was he was bisexual. He wasn't full gay.
And Katharine Hepburn was also bisexual.
Katharine Hepburn was bisexual. They called me Kitty because I ate that kitty. Katharine Hepburn, just eating pussy all over the nation. Cary Grant would love it
No, he wouldn't.
when I ate this pussy.
No, he wouldn't. He'd be like, gross. I can't even do the Mid-Atlantic Cary Grant. I wish I could.
Mid-Atlantic Cary Grant. How did Cary Grant sound?
Not like the dear departed Sean Connery.
Dear departed Sean Connery. Also, Alex Trebek died today because Celebrity Jeopardy is dying.
That SNL, all the great SNL bits are dying.
Burt Reynolds already died.
Yeah.
SNL is dying. We're seeing SNL in decline here. That is the true House of Decline, is SNL.
Oh my God. I used to sometimes try to watch some of their bits on YouTube. I just don't even care.
Maybe when they reach their 50th season, that's like when Lorne Michaels' Pact with the Devil will be up, and, you'll see him get dragged down to hell live on stage.
I hope so.
Say, hypothetically, you were to create a painting, and you were to put a brushstroke here and a brushstroke there, and, oh, look, you've made a kettle, but it's not a kettle, it's just brushstrokes. It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical.
The only still life that I like is still lifes of Rubik's Cubes, because that makes sense. It's logical. It's a puzzle that you have to solve. That is art.
Man. I like the idea of Ben Shapiro and art interacting, because he is a technically skilled violinist, which is just, and so it's weird to see him, put passion, or, see him make the expressions associated with musical passion when he's doing a piece, because it's you don't seem to get things. You don't seem to get things on this level, Shapiro.
Yeah.
So, or his sister singing opera, where it's there is this, his sister is even less technically accomplished than he is at the fucking, at the violin. But yeah, there is this emptiness in it that, seems very evident to someone like me, but maybe that's just because I'm ascribing his personality onto it. But yeah, when you rail against the idea of pathos as, just something that needs to be considered when you form your political or ideological or metaphysical worldview, and then you play the fucking violin, it seems, I don't know, there seems to be a disconnect there, But I guess some people just derive pleasure from playing instruments by the virtue of accomplishing something, and it doesn't get deeper than that. Here's one thing that I can say. What I think could be a useful and good policy goal. I've said it before. It's my one weird trick that I do think will save us all. But people think that VA is a bullshit cabinet position, but I actually think it's the most important cabinet position for getting Americans attuned to the idea of government-provided health care. Because if you argue with any right-wing person on the internet, they will inevitably bring up the fact that I don't trust the government to provide health care because, my cousin Joey got his legs blown off in Afghanistan and they didn't do shit for him and now he's addicted to opium. So a lot of Americans who we would want to convince as to the efficacy of government health care, their first experience with it is shitty. Because the VA is underfunded, I would say deliberately underfunded, and it is the front line of how people perceive healthcare in America. So fixing the VA, which could easily be a bipartisan slam dunk, because every time someone says, "Is this communism you're doing?" you can just counter, "Oh, what? You don't support the troops?" You can use America's own patriotism against it in order to provide... once again, I'm dipping into the... What if we have nationalism and socialism at the same time?
Yes. Of course, we'll need some more injured troops for your plan to work. How will we get these troops injured, you ask?
Start a war with Venezuela.
I did trepanning. I drilled a hole into my brain and poured alcohol right onto that spot that does anxiety, and I don't feel it anymore. Now I replaced that with horniness. I put, and smart, an intellectual horniness like this Richard Dawkins little clip I wanted to bring here. Take a quick listen, see if you can hear this.
Okay, let's hear it.
And so sexuality too can flower in the sorts of ways that literature and art flower and emancipate itself from its evolutionary roots. And of course that's what's happened.
It flowers, the sexuality flowers.
The sexuality blooms like the yonic flower of the old gods. It shines in my face, mocking me. Why can't I have it? Why can't I have it? Why was I molested at prep school? Have you actually? That is true. Have you ever seen Richard Dawkins' comments about just the general molestation that goes on at prep school?
Is that why he stopped believing in God? Is that why?
No, I think because his comments were positive. I think they went something along. Well, it was something along the lines of, "There's nothing wrong with a little harmless touching up." It's boys. Will be boys. It's just like when you're on the high seas, you revert to sodomy. And
Right.
when you're in a highfalutin prep school. When you're a Harry Potter all boys situation, you start fucking each other.
Yeah, when you're trapped in a Russian rehab by your possessed daughter, you naturally start making a relationship with the orderlies. Okay?
Look, Dimitri, I'll suck your dick if you can get me more benzos.
Oh, Dimitri.
Okay?
Oh, how I pine for thee, Dimitri.
You have a soft, supple frame. It reminds me of when my wife wasn't so saggy.
Oh, no, my dying wife. I'm so depressed, I have to take tranquilizers.
I'm injecting tranquilizers directly into my eyeballs now. This is the sound of the Peterson losing consciousness. Here, as I drift into dreamless sleep, will I find my absolution. Sleep now, Peterson. Sleep, gentle Peterson. Go into that good night.
So I listened to a bit of the podcast, the Peterson podcast with Barry Weiss.
Barry Weiss.
Boy, what a slog that was. So I quit listening when they started quibbling over systemic racism. And Jordan Peterson doesn't like the word systemic. So his problem with systemic racism is it's like the whole thing was set up with racism in mind. And so he is saying that we shouldn't use the word systemic because it's not the central tenet of the founding of this country. We didn't found this country in order to be racist specifically.
Before critical race theory, I did not consider that the Lion King may have had a racial element to it. Now I can't unsee it. Thank you.
Yeah. So he would probably prefer calling it he probably wouldn't, but you can try to get around it by saying, okay, fine, endemic racism. You don't want to say systemic. Why don't we call it endemic racism everywhere all the time? So
that's very Jungian. It's like an innate racism. It's not it can't be a part of the system. It can only be a part of your individual or sexual desire. You're mythologically motivated to do racism, and it's only on an individual level.
So, yeah, we didn't, or not we, I guess we, the founding father people didn't explicitly found America to do racism. It was just something everyone already did, and that was baked in, and so Jordan Peterson doesn't like to use the word systemic. But that's like a quibble. That's not a real...
Yeah, that's semantics. That's the lamest type of philosophical argument.
Yeah, but
words change meaning all the time, and they don't mean anything.
It made Barry Weiss come immediately. Just, oh, yes!
Yeah. Is it hard for Barry Weiss to keep kosher when she's such a fucking little pig?
Ooh! Well, we'll have to edit that out. That's what you're doing is wrong. Let me just say.
What am I doing is wrong?
I don't know.
Is that misogynist? No, she's a fucking little piggy. She's a tiny little piggy.
Why don't we try to explore the debate around Enlightenment values only using dick jokes?
Okay. The debate around Enlightenment values. What is the dick critique of pure reason? I don't know. Is that enlightenment?
Enlightenment
what
is
is
like
Kant?
using reason to determine.
Descartes. I dick, therefore I am.
Yeah.
I think, therefore I dick.
Therefore, I dick.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I
There
wanted.
you go.
That's-
Only dick jokes.
That's what I wanted.
I dick, therefore I balls.
I dick, therefore I balls.
That's fucking stupid.
No, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to generate the good free association jokes.
Trying to generate the content.
A little bit.
You've been making a lot of sad patriot synthwave lately.
Yeah, nostalgia wave.
Yeah, nostalgia wave.
It's fun because I like playing with nostalgia politically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we love the past. We love to hearken back to a past that never existed, or some sort of grand state, or the idea that things were better long ago.
Right.
I mean, to some degree, I wonder. Yeah, the show is House of Decline, but we still don't know if things are getting worse or not.
Well,
it's still hard to tell.
I read this essay by Christopher Lasch called "The Politics of Nostalgia," and one of the causes he goes through maybe like 3 different potential causes of nostalgia, and one of the causes is an empire in decline. Decadence and decline is one of the possible reasons for an upsurge in nostalgia, because you're hearkening back to a better age, and so you have like a form of nationalist nostalgia, and since everything's in decline, it can serve like escapism.
What I would say to that is the decadence and decline drives the nostalgia. The nostalgia isn't a symptom of the decadence and decline, but the decadence and decline generates nostalgia, because, like, look at Marvel, or the fact that anything that has any sort of big media impression is previously held IP or a remake, and the fact that that's so much more prevalent than it was in previous times. So we're in this state of this constantly recycling money, because we're in this late stage capitalism where you have to make a safe bet each time. There's no there's no way you can take a chance on anything, because the fucking suits say you got to make a profit each time, and the only way to do that safely is by recycling IP.
Yeah,
and so. Is that a symptom of decline? The idea that you're always just hearkening back to this?
I don't think so.
Dollar.
So the second sort of example he talks about is we've had different periods of like sort of overwhelming nostalgia. For example, in 1971, Time magazine asked, "How much nostalgia can America take?" And it was this overwhelming wave of nostalgia in the 70s. And interestingly, he talks about how the 60s and the 50s were like made into this big nostalgic time. Even by like 1971, people were talking about the 60s as a thing, as a time, as an era.
Yeah.
So, and he cites a couple of historians who basically were tracking that Americans have always been nostalgic. Like the whole time, we're just a nostalgic people.
Yeah.
It's one theory, which I find it's nostalgia is serving something for our own emotional needs in this theory. It's making stuff that seems incoherent become coherent. It's providing continuity, but above all, it's like a soothing emotional pacifier in a way.
Yeah. Well, there is like, if you talk about nostalgia from the outset of the founding of America, I think what we don't really consider in America is how deeply indigenous culture is rooted in America. You know, the fact that tons of cities are named after anglicized versions of indigenous names, and the anglicization of indigenous culture is part of it. And I think the nostalgia, like when people first started settling in it, when white people first started settling in America, like tons of them defected to indigenous tribes. They harken back to that because in a way you're sort of nostalgic for that less industrial, more in touch with the world hunter-gatherer lifestyle, where, you don't have to work as much and you don't have to pledge fealty to a cruel god. A lot of that happened, and I think a lot of that idea of indigenous culture beset with freedom wormed its way into this anglicized version of that, which they were hearkening back to this while simultaneously destroying it. And then the founding fathers, they came along and instantly they developed a mythology. Like within a year after they all died, they all became, legends and gods, and statues were made of them.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I mean, one of the other explanations of nostalgia is future shock, which is when a society starts to transition due to advancements in technology. So that can be thought of as a cause. And when America started being colonized, that was an element of future shock, probably for indigenous people. It'd be interesting to hear any perspectives on the concept of nostalgia among indigenous people in terms of before and after the great apocalypse occurred.
I think, I would be, like, I wonder what it's like to also, like, a culture that seems, I'm just spitballing here, I'm ignorant, so forgive any proclamations I make about indigenous culture. But a society that's more invested in ancestor worship, like which isn't just indigenous peoples. Like in China, there's a lot more emphasis, paid to like paying homage to your ancestors, as opposed to our culture, which sacrifices old people and like says, "Forget your past, we can move on." So I wonder what the idea of nostalgia is like from a culture that is all about your lineage and seeing yourself as a continuity of that. Is it necessary? Because when you say nostalgia, it's it has a negative connotation to it. It's remembrance of the past, but in sort of this cloying, treacly way, in a way that's like not attainable.
It's funny, nostalgia used to be a medical term that someone would suffer from it.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Well, you used to suffer from the gay, and then now you suffered from liking Funko Pops too much.
I would love to go to the doctor and be like, I have this like melancholic feeling about the past that I never actually lived in. Can you help me? And they're like, yeah, that just what you got to do is put a poultice up your ass. You gotta chew some herbs that you find in the forest, spit it into a bowl, and then kind of rub your hands together so it forms a long snake, and then put it in your ice box, and once it's frozen, sit on it. Nostalgia cured.
I like the idea that like there are periods where mythologies build up, and then there are sort of massive traumatic events that happen that make people fixate on the before time. Because, like, you're talking about the 60s, and, like, the gag of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is that the Manson murders is the thing that killed the 60s, right? It, like, killed the hippie dream because a bunch of idealistic young hippies went and murdered a bunch of people in the Hollywood Hills, and it made national news. And they had quoted the Beatles, and, it was just wrapped up with so much of the zeitgeist. That it managed to kill that whole vibe. And so the 70s became this depression, cocaine-laced, remember Happy Days? Remember Grease? Remember the 50s
that
and
was
the 60s?
nostalgia wave.
Yeah.
Which is the kind of music I'm trying to make now, nostalgia wave.
Yeah. It's very 70s. Well, the music you're making sounds 80s, which is the 80s-ish.
I'm nostalgia
but 80s was
bending.
the build-up in America.
Yeah, I'm nostalgia bending.
Yeah.
It's a form of psychic circuit bending, if you will.
Forward on
I think, our show's a little bit more highbrow these days.
Turn around, brown eye.
Every now and then I have to fart, and I need to fart tonight, and I'm farting more than ever. That one's great.
And I'm farting making you fart. And I'm farting on your pussy. drinking all your fart juice. Once there was a time I tried to shit, but now I'm only firing, flying a fart.
Yes, now I'm only ripping a fart.
Do. I told it, there's lots of these dicks in my fart.
Yeah, turn around, brown eye. Turn around, brown eye. Every now and then I have to fart. Is my magnum opus. I've written the last and only song parody I'll ever need to make $1 million, right?
Turn around, yeah. You can be one of those shock jocks. You can be one of those '90s radio shock jocks like Man Cow. The Kingdom Heartsification of all media. The video game Kingdom Hearts is ultimately about an evil man trying to harness a dark power by destroying the boundaries that once separated disparate pieces of intellectual property. By using darkness, which in the game is basically a type of chaotic energy, the villain of the series, Xehanort, seeks to bridge worlds, collect the hearts of their inhabitants, and gain access to a supreme source of power so that he can make the world by his design. It is established from the very beginning of the first game that the opening of bridges between worlds destabilizes the universe at large, and the use of darkness in these worlds hollows them out and leaves them as empty husks. Knowing that these crossovers are harmful, we, the gamers, still want these worlds to be connected because that's why we bought this stupid fucking game in the first place. The perverse nerd boner of seeing Cloud from Final Fantasy VII talk sass to James Woods as Hades. We know our desire to see our IP interact is driving the larger universe to ruin, yet we persist in doing so because for some reason people are innately attracted to pairings of different media properties. In Kingdom Hearts, they view this as friendship. But if we ignore Sora's foolish, non-materialist analysis, we can see it for what it really is. The joy of understanding references. Since Kingdom Hearts' extremely profitable debut in 2004, there has been an exponential escalation of gigantic, orgiastic media crossover properties. Recent examples of this include Wreck-It Ralph 1 and 2, the Lego Movie and all subsequent Lego movies, the Emoji Movie, Fortnite, Ready Player One, the Marvel and DC cinematic universes, and the most recent example that sparked this episode, Space Jam: A New Legacy, which despite eschewing rape skunk Pepe Le Pew, saw fit to include references to the Droogs from A Clockwork Orange, a beloved Warner Brothers media property. I do not believe that the creators of these crossover properties know it, but I think their decisions were profoundly influenced by the success of Kingdom Hearts, showing that not only product synergy could be monetized, but could create this cult-like fan devotion.
So yeah, another inmate wanted to know if you wanted to switch with him. He's doing the soy mines.
He's doing the soy mines. He's mining for soy. Yeah. Just like a big pudgy blocks of soy you're mining out.
All these things you have to mine for.
Yeah. And the problem with the soy mines is you inhale the phytoestrogens, and your titties swiftly become too big to work in the mines. You know, you're growing to, and then you're on milk duty.
Yeah.
You know, because cow milk is bad, but we can make human milk. They're milking us all the time.
What do they turn the human milk into?
They turn the human milk into oat milk.
Bastards.
Those bastards.
Bastards.
They found a way to turn animal matter into plant matter. If this is a neo-emotion I'm feeling. If there was only a neo-emotion to express how I could express
See,
this
I'm
right
over
now.
here thinking the way you make oat milk is you take some organic oats and mix it with water from snowflakes, from melted snowflakes.
Right.
The most purest water.
The purest water is from snowflakes,
From
of
melted
course.
snowflakes.
Yeah, they tried to insult us with that, but we're taking it back. That's what they thought in their mind. You know, we're going to build a whole system powered off of snowflakes. Nuclear snowflake generators. We catch them in our snowflake nets. But
No, we're going to go over the different types of penile conditions and diseases that you can get, because there's quite a few. Some are serious medical emergencies, but some are congenital, which they're present at birth and develop over time. So the first one is balanitis. Balanitis.
Balanitis. It's a penis disease.
Yeah, it's inflammation of the glands, which is the head of the penis.
The glands.
The glands,
so you get a real big head.
So if the foreskin is also inflamed, the condition is called balanoposthitis.
Balanoposthitis.
So the most common cause of balanitis is poor hygiene in uncircumcised males. So that's not going to apply to you and me.
You got an expanding head. Yeah, we clean our dicks immaculately.
Well, no, we're both circumcised.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, so there is a point to it. Well, we can't get balanitis. Thank you. Thank you, Jewish elders, for showing us the way.
Let's see. The treatment is cutting off the entire penis. Wow.
What?
That's the only way you can treat it.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No, you're exaggerating. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know.
That's what maybe this is because this is like a feminist website. I'm looking at
why is this a feminist?
Epipadias, hypopadias, penile cancer. For every single one, they're saying the solution is cut off the penis.
It's I think you've stumbled upon the Nullo website. I don't think the feminists would have it.
So priapism is a persistent erection that lasts for more than 4 hours, and the only treatment is cutting off the penis.
Okay. That sounds drastic.
A common cause of priapism is marijuana.
Smoke too much weed, you get real hard.
Is that true? For 4 hours?
I'm high all the time, and I'm just, I'm hard all the time too, Hard and high. That's the old expression, hang 'em hard and hang 'em high.
How do you walk around?
With an erection.
But doesn't it hurt?
Not when you get used to it, and it's good. You're like an ordinal point.
Maybe you have a billowy pants.
Yeah, I have billowy pants, so I'm like it looks like the flag of Nepal the way that I've got it arranged. It's beautiful. Sorry to our Nepalese fans. No, my penis isn't that big. If anything, it would just be some sort of semaphore flag or naval flag that I would be sporting. Not the majestic flag of the wonderful nation of Nepal.
So some of the other penis conditions are like your urethra doesn't go out the hole, and instead it curves up, and so you have kind of a blowhole situation.
You got a curvy urethra. You got a spout.
Yeah, so you got the pee goes up in a different direction than you were expecting. You hit yourself in the face.
Well, that seems like easy enough to correct if it's soft. You just bend it a little, and point the spout down towards the toilet. But everyone knows the horrors of Morningwood. You're trying to pee and you got a boner, and you're trying to angle your boner down, and it's pointless. And you got to get at a weird angle. You have to straddle the toilet. You have to go.
Yeah.
You have to start doing deep knee thrusts on the toilet.
Epispadias, the weird.
Epispadias.
There's 2 surgical techniques, and they are called the modified Cantwell technique.
And
the Mitchell technique.
It's the Mitchell. My God, the Mitchell technique. That's
technique.
Great. A really mundane name plus a technique.
For that to be my question in med school. What is the difference between the modified Cantwell technique and the Mitchell technique?
No. And because you've read this penis webpage, you've never studied a medical book, but you slumdog millionaire it because you remember this penis webpage.
Yeah, this is a great penis webpage. The pictures are scary.
So fucking... Another development in the story that was really funny is the person that designed her dress, who AOC touted as an immigrant designer, when she was an immigrant from Canada. Mm-hmm. It's just very funny.
Yes, so that counts. It counts.
But it also turns out she does a lot of tax cheating and wage theft.
You should do that would be funny. You should get a nice thick tan. Put a little stank on your accent.
No. Put a little Aquafina. Just to do a little Aquafina.
Cross down the border down here. Hang out by the Home Depot.
No. Wrong. Steve, no. Wrong.
I'll come pick you up and put you in the back of my truck. And you can do my roof.
I would be the worst day laborer of all time. I would just die on your roof from heat stroke immediately.
Yeah. And
Not tough.
I call ICE and be like, I don't know how it got him there.
It's this white guy with shoe polish on. What is he?
Your spray tan is like is washing off your dead body in the rain.
Yeah, this is this line of joking about, for some reason, me who just deciding to impersonate a brown person in order for you to have your jollies. Your jollies.
But it'd be funny because then they'd be like, "Are you an illegal immigrant?" And you'd be like, "Yes, but Canadian."
I'm Canadian, but I'm racist. I'm a racist Canadian, and we're having fun right now.
I'm just racist. You're racist. Yeah. No, you got to turn it around on them.
Yeah,
it's like, you're racist.
This is our traditional dress in Canada.
Like, just because I'm tan and I was also kind of doing an accent that would indicate.
What about me doing this accent makes you think I'm racist, Holmes? Come on, Holmes. What about me doing this accent? It's two Hispanic cops, I'm going to Officer Jimenez. Yeah. It's like, dude, I'm an illegal immigrant from Canada, man. Across the border. Okay.
I knew you would see how funny it was if you just
I'm seeing the comedy potential. But because I would cross the border at Detroit, too, so there's this extra weird dimension.
Do it in the middle of winter.
Just roofing in the middle of winter.
You slip and fall.
This is how Canadians do it, man. We roof in winter while being racist to Mexican people, okay?
Or any Central American. I mean,
any Central America.
It's always one thing that pisses me off is when there's these Americans who don't bother to differentiate, At least learn the names of other countries besides America and Mexico. And yet, here we are doing it the old-fashioned way.
We're making it with our hands, like our daddies used to jack off with.
Mm-hmm. Now we use, have you ever hollowed out a cucumber?
Yeah.
So that brings me to my number 5. So we're going to count down in order. My number 5 road trip snack, and that is a cucumber.
A cucumber. Unexpected. You think, because usually people choose chips, something salty, something fatty, something chocolatey. Why are you attracted to the humble cucumber?
Well, you need to peel it, and that's a very fun thing to do while driving, because it takes both hands.
Yeah. Drive with your knees while peeling a cucumber. It's something all of us have done.
And you can just throw the peel out the window.
You're right, and you can throw it into someone's visor. If someone's getting too edgy with you on the road, you throw it into their windshield. They lose sight of what they're doing. They cause a crash. You don't get blamed for it. It's their cucumber now.
Yeah, so my cucumber is number 5 road snack. What about you? What's your number 5?
My number 5 would have to be teriyaki style jerky. Yeah, you have your little meat chips.
Yeah,
have your little meat chips that you can get in your face and, get really dehydrated from and feel like you need water constantly.
And then you have to pee. Then you have to pee in your Gatorade bottle because you're on one of those interstates where the rest stops are 70 miles in between rest stops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then you got to throw that pee bottle at somebody's windshield. They crash. They cause a 14-car pileup. Not your problem.
That's behind you.
It's their pee bottle now. Yeah, exactly.
That's behind you. That's what a great phrase. I can already see where this bit is going. My number 4 road snack is mayonnaise packets.
Mayonnaise packets, just suck them down.
Sucking them down,
yeah.
Take that packet, throw it out the window.
Yeah, 14-car pile up, not your problem.
That's their mayonnaise packet now.
Not your problem anymore.
Number four for me. For me has got to be good old fashioned Gorp,
Gorp?
which is good old fashioned good old raisins and peanuts. You know,
Oh,
It's
okay.
Gorp.
It's an acronym for raisins and peanuts.
it's for good old raisins and peanuts.
Good old. So they're old.
They're aged raisins. Like, you know how like wine gets better as you age it. Raisins and peanuts get better as you age them because they ferment in special ways, and so there's special oxidants. They're the oxidants that occur naturally within the fruits.
You mean the antioxidants?
No, people mix them up all the time.
Okay.
These are the oxidants.
You want to be oxidized.
You want to be oxidized. People aren't getting enough oxygen. People don't breathe right. They don't do yoga breathing.
That's not what oxidization is, man. Oxidation. That's when like your cells get all corroded, and so you get cancer.
I think you don't know what you're talking about. You've been brainwashed by Big Raisin.
Okay.
They want to tell you that. They want to control your mind. But I eat them with peanuts. That's how you counteract the mind control effects.
Well, my number 3 road snack is a can of black beans.
A can of black beans.
Yeah.
And it's unopened, right?
Oh yeah, it's unopened.
You got to eat it with the metal.
No, what? You don't have a can opener in your car?
Where's your can opener located?
Well, I used to have one of those manual can openers that you get, but I went on Pimp My Ride, and I said that the only thing I really wanted in my ride was an automatic electric can opener that I wouldn't have to bring with me. And Exhibit said that he said some kind of like, "Oh, you like beans in your car, dog?" You know what he says.
Yeah, he was doing the meme. He was doing the meme about the guy from Cars 2.
Right. So he put a automatic can opener in my car, and then he also did like a huge neon sign that said "Bean Car," which I promptly took
Bean
off.
car, yeah, exactly.
I promptly took off because I have to drive through some pretty sketchy parts of town, and it's always getting pulled over by the cops.
Yeah, and you're always causing those 14-car pileups, and it's very easy to locate the bean car. You know, everybody knows. I saw it. The guy in the bean car. He caused it.
Yeah. Oh, we know that guy.
But you would never throw the can of beans out the window because they're far too precious to you. You know.
Well, not a full can of beans, but maybe like a half can.
Okay, so you don't fetishize the can. You're not a can fetishizer.
No, I don't fuck the can after I'm done.
Whoa! Don't kink shame me. Banging around my penis in a can and producing this noise. That's what I do. That's what I do all the time. Is just bang my penis. You know, just bang it around in a can like this. I'm doing that right now. That's what you're hearing right now. My penis there's a hard part on top.
Oh, like a little helmet.
Little helmet. They call it helmet head, but mine, literally, it's calcified.
It's funny.
Don't get me started on that.
Yours is shaped like the Wehrmacht helmet.
It is shaped like the Wehrmacht helmet. The bone, it ossified in such a way as to create a flared ridge.
Yeah.
Not like the penile flared ridge, but like the Third Reich helmet flared ridge.
That's unfortunate but comical.
Unfortunate but comical. And that leads me to my number 3 road snack, calcium chews.
Like Tums or
Tums. It can be antacid tablets or just getting your calcium in for the day. You know, you want to feel like your bones are strong. Mm-hmm. You want to be in your car and you want to feel like your skeleton is getting stronger, so that if you're ever somehow your flesh magically melts off, but you're still sentient and you can move your skeleton around, you know, you'll have the goods to deal with any enemies that might cross your path.
I eat a lot of Tums. The doctor tells me I shouldn't.
Yeah, it's you get. I think it ends up being corrosive. What's your number 2 snack?
My number 2 snack. This has been a really tough one, but I'm gonna go with Jolly Ranchers.
Jolly Ranchers, beautiful. Suck them down.
Yeah,
just like mayonnaise. That's what they say.
I crunch them up. You know.
You're a Jolly Cruncher.
I crunch them right up. I don't waste any time.
You're crunching them.
Yeah.
I'm crunching them. That's what they say.
My least favorite flavor, though, is grape. I throw those right out the window, and they hit somebody's windshield.
Lame.
And that's cause a 14-car pileup. That's
14-car pileup, it's another, put it on the tab, you say. Then the tab, by which you mean your thousands of vehicular manslaughter charges.
Right, but that's that guy's problem,
Yeah, it's, that guy. What's funny is that it's the bean car that's liable. You're not actually liable.
Right. We live in that one state, the car fault state, where
fault state,
it's not your fault, it's the car's fault.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I thank you thank you, Governor. Thank you, Governor Hansfeld, who is the German clone of Jerry Seinfeld, Jerry Hansfeld.
You ever God. You ever notice how I can't do German?
Did you ever notice how that on the plane you don't get very good snacks? You would expect a plane, a professional company to have good snacks, but they don't oftentimes.
Often the snacks are not in the correct order.
The snacks are not in the order. Do you know when you want to put things in order and they are not in order? Jerry Hansfeld, everybody. It was a mistake to try and do a German Jerry Seinfeld. Number 2 snack for me, matzah. Matzah. Speaking of mistakes by the Jews, I love it. It's like a little cracker.
Yeah, it's a very dry, plain snack.
That's why you got to put some haroset on it. You got to put some haroset. Got to put some horseradish. Mm-hmm. No, haroset is that apple mixture that I hate. No, that's gross.
Oh, you hate
that?
You
got to put horseradish on it. Yeah, I don't like haroset. It's too sweet. It's too goddamn sweet. Don't like it. Just like Manischewitz 1. Jewish cooking bends towards the sweet sometimes. And
yeah, well, that's because you're all such nice boys, and the mothers.
Well, such nice guys.
The mothers want
like Harvey Weinstein.
The mothers want to make the
Hoffman.
nice boys some very sweet, good food.
You got to make some sweet, good food for the nice boys. Yeah. That's what they say. And, and your earliest memory, you're a little Jewish baby. You're crying. You're just wailing out. The world is nothing but pain and confusion. And your beautiful Jewish mother shoves a big old piece of matzah in your mouth. And you go, bah, bah, this Jewish baby is very satisfied. And that's exactly what happened to me. Mm-hmm. And to this day, I honor her memory by eating matzah in the car.
Well, it's time for my number 1 all-time favorite snack to have on the road.
Yeah.
And it is kimchi.
Yes.
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 It stinks so good.
It stinks so fucking good. Ruin the stinkier the better,
You spill that on your cloth seats, the smell is never coming out.
You don't even need to throw that shit out your car. The smell interrupts someone else's car. They go, "What? What's going on?" They're confused. They think they're dying.
Yeah. The
14-car pileup, not your problem.
The kimchi bottle is the one piece of garbage I will not throw out of my car.
Yeah.
It smells too bad.
It smells too bad. You huff it. You huff it sometimes.
I open it up and my passenger freaks out. They think that the car's about to explode. I think there's gas in the car. Which reminds me of a road trip I took with a friend of ours. Maybe I'll name him a certain man, a certain tall man. I won't name him.
I know who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Man who was driving us on mushrooms, and we didn't know.
Yeah,
about
don't
it.
use his name.
We didn't know about it until we got there, but he was tripping pretty hard on mushrooms, driving us very quickly, and the entire car smelled like gasoline. And just the whole time he was like, "Yeah, I gotta fix that." Yep. Oh, I was like, "Is this car about to explode?" And he's like, "Maybe." It was a good time.
It sounds like a good time, and that brings me to my number 1 road snack: gasoline. The car drinks it, you drink it. You're in simpatico. You're vibing with it. It's like, you remember in fucking Pacific Rim where they had to use the power of friendship in order to make the machines run well, right?
Is that a sci-fi movie?
It's a sci-fi movie directed by Jerry Hansfeld. That was his directorial debut, was Pacific Rim.
Is that the one where they go underground and there's underground tunnels connecting everything in Earth?
It's the one where Jerry Hansfeld uses his comedy to save everybody in a giant comedy robot. It was a real... And there's underground tunnels connecting everything. And he uses these tunnels, because tunnels are funny, right?
Yeah, well, my question for you is, these days, what was the price of gasoline? I mean, how do you get...
It's crazy.
How do you get your snack?
How do I get my snack on when the price is so high? The answer is I make my own. Got to make your own at home,
Oh. Canada to Detroit is still like a horrifying bus ride.
8 hours. It's not that bad.
That's pretty bad, dude. I wouldn't be on a bus for 8 hours.
Oh, there's lots of stuff you can do. Jack off, Nintendo Switch, jack off on your Nintendo Switch, clean your cum off of the Nintendo Switch, explain to the guy next to you why you're jacking off on your Nintendo Switch.
I mean, he would be jacking off on your Nintendo Switch, too.
Oh, yeah, because you get him into it. He'd be like, oh, man, you can do that? And I'm like, yeah, you didn't know you could do this on buses? And he was like, no, I thought that was forbidden. And you're like, man, free your mind, man, shackles.
All right,
These
I'm
are
all
the
out of
shackles
bits,
of my
so...
minds. You're all out of bits? You don't want to talk about jacking off anymore?
I mean, that one was like a bonus bit.
Sure. I have bits. What if we made the worst leftist Twitch channel called Left Revolution?
Okay. I could
It's
be
the
down with
worst
that.
leftist Twitch channel, Left Revolution.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that because of the way, culture is these days, that would probably make us billions of dollars.
You think those dumbasses will just become a bunch of Hassans? We'll become hype beasts.
Yeah.
We'll have on Grimes. Hassan's catching a lot of heat for having on Grimes.
Really? When did he have on Grimes?
I don't know, a bit ago. But I don't know. I can't blame the guy. If Grimes wanted to do our show, I'd be like, "Come on, you weird lady! You did some funny stuff."
Wow, man, I would probably throw up.
If Grimes was on this show,
Yeah,
you'd
I would
throw
probably
up just
just
from
throw
being
up. Just like,
nervous around a famous lady.
Famous ladies make me throw up.
Famous ladies. I was once around Sarah Jessica Parker, and let me tell you, she is very pretty. Whatever they say that she looks like on screen, it's not true. In real life, you see her, she's magnanimous, she glows. I met her outside of a Wooster Group show. She was sharing a joint with Adam Shankman. And this is a real New York story. These are real New York stories that happen every day. This is me, Charlie Sunshine. And I'm here with my co-host Stephen Montgomery, and share you some real New York stories. Talking about Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, gay the Bronx, gay Brooklyn, and all the rest. Stephen Montgomery, do you have any stories do you have any real New York stories?
Is that me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're Stephen Montgomery in this. You're Stephen Montgomery in this situation.
I was reading a Yahoo News article about
About New York stories. Was it about New York stories?
disturbing claims of torture and sexual abuse at the trial of a New York cult leader.
Oh wow! Let's read away. These are some true New York stories, Stephen Montgomery.
So Lawrence Larry Ray.
It's a great name. Starting off already great. L.L. Ray.
He spent years psychologically manipulating and abusing college students who were roommates of his own daughter at the prestigious liberal arts college Sarah Lawrence. Jeez.
This is not funny. This is not funny.
There's a funny thing, though.
What is funny?
One funny part in the article.
Okay, yeah, what's the funny part?
So the person he was abusing alleged Ray tortured her for hours, suffocating her with a plastic bag after binding her to a hotel chair. At one point, she said, he stopped to have burgers and fries.
Okay, I see. I see what you mean. Americans, man.
Amerifat eat burger.
Marifat eat burger. Even the serial killers are hams.
That sucks.
Even the serial torturers
This
are
country
hams.
sucks. There's no place in it that doesn't suck, and I stand by that. It really feels like that aliens control our society, and they're just fattening us up to be because they eat us.
Yeah. Or maybe they survive off arthritis or something like that. They survive off of joint pain.
We are the myalgians. we need much myalgia in the atmosphere.
You are going to take swigs of maple syrup and it will make your knees hurt.
Yeah.
I actually do that. I take swigs of maple syrup like it's whiskey.
Do you?
Yeah, contributing to my self-glazing. Contributing to the self-glazing process.
Maple syrup grows on trees up in Canada, so...
It's good. Yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah.
It's the best type of syrup.
Are there other types? I guess there's simple syrup.
Yeah, there's simple syrup.
Yeah.
I have simple syrup.
Back in my drinking days, it was always in high demand.
Yeah. I like the idea of complicated syrup. And it's just, it has relationship problems, it's got a kid who it doesn't see, is estranged from. Man, this syrup is really complicated. Or it has the plot of some sort of strange anime.
It's hard to know what's real. Probably everything is lies, and we won't know until Adam Curtis explains it to us.
Yeah, Adam Curtis. In the end, Adam Curtis will explain everything to us. But something unexpected happened. What we didn't understand was that Vladimir Putin wanted something more than legacy. What he wanted was every Beanie Baby. He had long since discovered the magic and beauty of these miraculous little toys. But what he didn't realize was how prohibitively expensive the hobby was. He had empowered oil oligarchs in order to gain the funds necessary to purchase the very rare Holiday Sweet Sweet Bear. But he knew this would not be enough. And so, in this effort, he consolidated his troops on the border of the Donetsk and launched an attack which would be known as the Beanie Offensive.
There's only one dream that I keep having in the last 2 years. And it's, I get to heaven. And what heaven is, but it's the gates of heaven, but it's not the pearly gates. It's not the golden gates like St. Peter. It's a gigantic airplane hangar that stretches as far as the eye can see. And it's little turnstiles with little booths manned by little angel guys with... and you can't really see their faces. It's a dream, so their faces are always moving around and shit. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, is I get to heaven. I know implicitly that I'm dead and I've gone to heaven. I am Bart Simpson. I am with my family. I'm with the family, the Simpsons. And, I'm Bart Simpson in the dream. I think like Bart Simpson. I'm having his desires and thoughts process. So what does Bart Simpson do? When he sees a turnstile and he sees a big line in front of him and he sees this big bureaucracy, he skips the line. That's what Bart does. I wouldn't do that. If I were me in the dream, I'd probably wait in line and meet all the cool characters in heaven. Because here's the thing, because it's heaven for the entire universe too, a bunch of weird aliens are there, a bunch of freaky, fucked up guys with vagina hands are there, and they're talking in weird voices, but they're friendly because they know implicitly they're in the afterlife and they're at peace now. But Bart Simpson and his anarchic energy, you'd think Bart would be in hell, but no, it's actually a pretty lenient universe. The problem is there's a big bureaucracy, though. There's a big backlog. You got to get people through. So I'm Bart. I'm running through heaven, and they phone the heaven cops on me. So now I'm chasing the heaven cops. And what heaven is once you get past the hangar area, it's this MC Escher-like just unnavigable office building of doors, but there are outside parts as well. It's a little like Elden Ring in a lot of ways. And I'm opening doors and I'm seeing a bunch of like weird guys. Oh, this is the Schmorp room. And a bunch of Schmorps are like really fucking each other because it's heaven and everybody's fucking all the time because, you know, that's heaven for a lot of people. And, you know, I'm Bart, so I'm going, whoa, man, whoa. And, you know, the dream always ends with, you know, the heaven cops catching me. And I don't know what happens after that. But that's my dream. That's the one dream that I've had consistently. Over and over the years. And that's not a bit at all. I didn't just make up all of that. I'd have to be some sort of improvisational genius